And welcome back, everybody, to the Game Arena Valorant Act 3 Grand Finals. And we have two teams that have withered the storm, defeated all their other competitors in the way. It's going to be the 3-seed Sussy players versus the 4-seed CSU Vikings Green. There was a double upset in the semifinals round. Sussy players taking down Akron Gold and CSU Vikings Green, ending the heroic run of OSU Scarlet. They went 5-0, and they get shut down in their first map of today, which leaves us with, in my opinion, is the grand finals that we are asking for. Sussy players, the reigning champion, versus CSU Vikings Green, the up-and-comer. They haven't been in this tournament before, but they definitely want to leave a mark with this map selection, Booney.
I mean, yeah, the map pick is going to be about Sussy players. Unfortunately, you were just a little off their war, but we are going back to Bind. We saw Sussy in the last match of our semifinal just dominate over here on Bind. Just going, I mean, you didn't really show any of your strats either. It was just rush B every time. So you still got plenty to work with in terms of any map strategies. But like you were saying, this kind of goes back to the old sports adage. Like, do you want the bye week? Do you want, the extra time off to sleep in? Like we were talking about this morning and during the LAN event, or do you want to go in and get warmed up in a game, take that victory and come in hot, which is what we saw with Sussy players and with CSU Green. So now both these teams warm, but the thing is now this is where the LAN really comes into play, because now we're at the absolute apex of this tournament, but it has been a long day for both of these teams. Been here prices way early in the morning, have played a lot of Valorant, and now they got to bring it back together for 2, potentially 3 more maps. It's just how hard can you lock in here? You've had a long weekend, but now glory and $600 are in your sights. And we see both these teams, all these players on both sides, all looking locked in. We all got ourselves a nice lunch in the meantime, so now we're full and we are ready to game.
Yeah, and take your seats, because if I know anything about Valorant, this one's going to be an absolute showdown between the two teams. We haven't seen CSU Vikings Green on the map of Bind, but Sussy players putting on a masterclass against Akron Gold in the semifinals. And it looks like they're going to actually be starting off on the defensive side, running a similar, I believe the same composition that they were running on the previous match. Well, CSU Vikings Green, they're opting for a more traditional comp for Bind with this double smoke, double initiator, no sentinel that they can use, so they won't have the deadlock and cypher utility, but they will have a lot of smokes to obscure what they're trying to do.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a bit of a mid-push right now, clearing out that hookah area for CSU Vikings Green. But Vespero there, ready to meet them. But the Dizzy's going to land over onto Vespero. Do they shut down the deadlock? They do not in time. The paint shells are going to do it, however. So a good start here for CSU as Vespero loses that hookah control. There is still the wall over in towards Garden, but it is going to, in fact, be the Vikings Green coming out on top with 2 quick ones in the pistol. Make that a third. 4. Do we see 5? Shamson makes a pace with 1, but look at the hype on this squad. We talked to one of their players in the interview after the semifinals round, and they thought they controlled, but now they're here to take it home and I guess technically upset Sussy players trying to defend their title.
Yeah, great to hear from Shuki about sort of what they're trying to do in Act 3, how they're trying to leave a mark on Game Arena Valorant, and they definitely have done that so far, making it into the prizing, making it into the top 2, but their sights aren't set on top 2 at the moment. Their sights are set on top 1, full buy for the side of CSU Vikings Green. But it's going to be a push out from the side of the Sussy players. We'll have to see how CSU replies to that.
I mean, yeah, the Sussy players, though, with that push out, lose out on that, they lose out on the Sky Flash and also lose out on the paint shell. So now, looks like A might be the target here for CSU Vikings Green. Vespero once again stuck on the island here. On the defense, finally getting some assistance over onto the side, but we used to go open things up early with a kill over onto Noodle, so a good start. Taking advantage of that rifle versus the pistols, and now a bomb buddy right down B long to clear that one out. The Haunt, not gonna find anything here, but Showers is cleared. Vespero once again cannot find the pick they need. Now Donkey stuck over into U-Haul, and the kills are here. Ryu once again finding another. And that might just be yet another round as the Viking coming in hot for this round. Really, the Sussy players having no answers so far for this aggressive push on the attack.
And Vikings, they're going to make this clean. Look at that, a bit of a bait and switch. Flawless rounds, basically, thus far. I mean, sure, you might lose one player along the way, but you're able to carry in so many guns to that next round. Just looking at it, sight-wise, it feels very, very even on both sides. And even Vespero and as well as Noodle, they aren't able to necessarily buy up to those full Phantoms, to those full Vandals. Stuck with a Judge in the hands of Vespero, obviously a very dangerous weapon. We'll have to see what they're able to do with it on the defensive side. Likely going to try to play that towards Hookah.
Yeah, it's looking like a bit of an A push right now through Shower, throwing down the Moss pitch. Not going to find anything. A flash does come out early here from Sussy players. Very back and forth affair right now. 1-for-1. The Rays are going to exchange some kills. Dizzy clearing out those Showers area, but we're going to have a scout here for Noodle ready to clear the right back out. So now both teams down 1. The 4-on-4, bit of a lull in the action here, War.
Yeah, on the bonus of CSU Vikings, all you're looking to do is do some of that damage. Think that Exquisitely sees ahead, but Donkey's going to trade that one back. Tucks underneath the smoke and trades right back onto Exquisitely. Gets the heal in through and going to get blinded onto the site, but Util is coming in. The plant going down. Leon trying to fight back, and that's exactly what he's going to do with 1, 2, make that the third. He already has Thrash online, but they're not going to need it. Vespero, now on the lurk, we talked about him. He was trying to set up with the Judge for his side, but not even able to find it. The kill goes to Leanne, and it goes to 4. Already has that Thrash online for the next round if they need it.
And yeah, convert the bonus is always huge, especially in a series like this where momentum is a big part of Sussy players' playstyle. And now look at that buy coming through from Sussy players, not looking too strong. And definitely a little more fight against them here on Bind than we saw in the semifinals. It just, every single time we're seeing this, it looks like a soul read almost coming out from the Vikings, going to the weaker site seemingly every time. Looks like they'll finally, Sussy players might have a read on this one. Thrash to open things up right down long, but not going to instate over on towards anybody. A lot of paint shells coming down for both teams, but Donkey opens things up over on towards Leon with the classic.
But they've baited out of the util, and now all the players from Sussy have moved over onto the A side, but the rotation has already come through. They've moved over to B, and it's Wii who's sitting, waiting in the teleporter, and he's gonna get a target. No, he's not. A bit of a check from Donkey there. The Yoru is trying to clear out teleporter, force players to kind of worry about that area of the map. The Sussy players want to bring this one back. They need to go in. They need to go in quick, and they need to start trading lives in their favor. And it looks like Noodle is going to do that, keeping it equalized. Donkey now pushing onto the site. And because both players were playing inside of Hookah, they're just going to get stifled, smoked off, and eventually disrupted by the team of Sussy players. We know they've been good on their save rounds, and this is just another reason why we see them winning those. They're able to play them so unified, so tactical, and kind of flood onto the site with util as a core.
And yeah, just an amazing pick there from Donkey from way downtown with the classic, taking down Exquisitely. If Exquisitely gets that pick on a Donkey, I'd like to see how it could change, but now Econ is back here for the Sussy players. A 3-1 scoreline so far, but a bit of new life coming out from our Val Act 2 champions. See if there's any adjustments coming out here for the Vikings green. I did like the idea of the fake TP as well, but the just sitting there in with the shorty didn't quite get what they wanted, but Mosh will go over on towards the point, clear out that Showers area. Actually, the Mosh not going to land. We have an awkward angle coming through, and now that util basically wasted there.
Yeah, but the push is going to be towards the Showers area of the map. I don't think they were going to expect 2 players, but Dizzy is going to be able to find both. Leon showing why they're on the top of the leaderboard right now with those 2 kills. Now make that 3. He's on a different level. Already close to, like, on the 4th round. This looks like he's closing in on a 2nd Thrash at the moment. I'm going to try to extend that lead. Goes for a blind shot, not able to find it. Set up on site. Vespero does manage to get one, though. Dizzy, little guy, both primed and ready. But the push is going to come in close range. He still gets it, though. Quick swap off. Give Leon 4, give Ryu the 1 to clean back up. We have the CSU Vikings Green taking back control of this series.
Yeah, I think we're starting to see kind of difference in playstyle between both these teams, right? We have CSU kind of coming in with the coach, everything getting ready. But then Sussy players, we talked to them, just kind of the ranked demons, just going out there and playing for fun and playing with their bros once again. And now we're kind of seeing just these slow approaches here from CSU. These reads are coming through. Potentially a bit of a differential there, but just look at Leon right now. 12-1 on the leaderboard. Just absolutely taking over the lobby right now. Bit of an awkward buy coming through as well from the side of the Sussy players, but see if they can make it work. The last thrifty they had was very successful, so trying to bring it back here, but we do have, once again, the A push coming through with the Nightmare coming on through. The Nightfall is going to be there. Not quite going to land on a Samson, but Vesperal stuck in the showers. And Wingman going in for the plant.
That was a great quick hit. Sussy players almost no response. They can even think through. And now Molly at Samson's feet. Nos finds another kill. Kobe tries to flood in with the help of Noodle, and nobody's gonna make it. Nobody's even gonna make a dent in the ever-growing economy that Green keeps on building up.
And timeout called by the Sussy players. And I mean, just a fantastic mosh and bomb buddy combo there in the corner to clear that area out. It allows Wii to kind of do a bigger swing out to clear out the attacker side, or clear the defender side spawn. So just all around a great team play once again for CSU. They look to be on a different level. How did this team become the 4th seed? Like, this team is looking ridiculous right now.
They are looking almost unstoppable at this very moment, and I think that just has to be attributed to the amazing coaching and also support. They are here with, obviously, CSU Vikings White, who they took down in the quarterfinals, but they're able to get a lot of information and obviously have an amazing coaching staff backing them up. You can even see the CSU White players in the background cheering their teammates on, obviously excited that they're off to such a strong lead, and Sussy players are already forced to use a timeout this early into the game. When you're having to rethink your strategies on round 5, that surely spells that you're in for disaster. So hopefully this rethink after round 6 will be enough for the Sussy players.
Good for them. That's round 6 then.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. This round 6. Yeah,
you got to rethink after round 5, but round 6 completely normal.
Yup.
And just look at the ultimates though here for Sussy players. They will have quite a lot to work with. So this should be a round where I would probably favor them here, but we have seen some great plays coming out from the Vikes. But an early flash out of showers, bomb bite to follow that up. Counter by the Mosh. Gonna actually land that time. Not gonna hit that little pillar out top, but still CSU Vikings kind of taking their time, draining out some util. Gonna take showers control here. Gonna get both of their little buddies back here for the Gecko of Nos, and still nobody has seen each other once, and all noise has been cut.
The positions that Sussy players are playing right now, they don't have a watch over Hookah. You can see Vaspiro even looking back there. They don't know where this push is going to come in. There's going to be Seekers exchanged, and no information gained by that Thrash there. They jump in, attempt for a clear. Doesn't really get that much, only flushes out anybody holding close, and now we're back to silence, Booney. Nobody moves on this map.
Yeah, still back to silence. 40 seconds now remaining. It appears it will probably have to be an A hit unless there's a quick rotate call. Yes, it does look like it will be an A hit. So they're walking in. The deadlock all not going to quite land either there from Vespola. And now we coming on in with the box packs. They're going to be 1-for-1 exchange. But Kobe from the showers coming up exquisitely, was still hanging around. They're still lurking in the area. U-Haul control from Shamson will just be enough. As Leon goes on down, the ultimate is out popped.
Toxins going up.
Exquisitely position identified. Vaspiro with the swing, but it doesn't matter. Exquisitely still wins those. Now Donkey jumps out of form. Forced to use more ults than Sussy players may have needed in this situation. Nos was clean up too. Advantage now in favor of CSU. Despite the ultimates coming in, and Shamson gets shut down. The man who has been so good in those situations cannot come up with the clutch. CSU get themselves another round on the cards.
What a play from Exquisitely there on the Viper. Oh my, just Remind me a little bit of the semifinals game where we saw popping out, or actually the quarterfinals game between them and the white with that little chamber clutch there, the 3K. But coming up with a 4 on this one when the team needed the most. And like you said, look at all the ultimates that they use for the Sussy players. Now only having the Showstopper online, getting close to a Viper's pitch to lock down any potential hits for the CSU Vikings green. And it is just looking like a completely different team from what we saw in the group stage for CSU. And the buy for the Sussy players is just not quite there. I believe we might be having a bit of a technical timeout. Yes,
Yep,
we're gonna have a bit of a tech timeout, so hopefully get that over with here quickly here, ladies and gentlemen. A grand finals course still beginning. Doesn't look like it could be the side of the Sussy players. They are still locked in, but looks like it could be a bit of a headset issue perhaps for Cleveland State University, but
Yeah, we got the diligent Game Arena admins figuring it out right there. You can see it on screen. Something is amiss, and usually get these figured out pretty quickly. But yeah, Booney, as you said, very, very just one-sided affair in terms of CSU green right now.
All right, looks like we're going to do a quick little reboot here. Potentially some issues with the tech here. Yeah, it looks like they're kind of logging back in quickly. This admin team is I was talking always about the magic of LAN events, but this is also half the fun of LAN is technical timeouts, and getting things fixed, rebooting, turning it on off again, and we'll see if this gets fixed. But I mean, I guess the only thing that can stop CSU Vikings green right now is the PC just crashing. Because right now, CSU players, you see it on their face. You know, we saw in the semifinals game the smile and the flexing, the big dogs eat T-shirt getting showed to the camera, and now. Looks like almost a bit of concern coming out of them right now, because this again is their map pick war, and it looks so good out in the semis, but they're getting kind of thrown around right now.
Yeah, definitely. I'd say not the most favorable position to be in down. Luckily, I mean, even if they do go down here, think about the map against Akron. They were able to get most of the rounds they played on the attacker side. But still not a position you want to opt into. No player wants to say, hey, let's go down, get one map to 11, and then be forced to make a comeback like that. It's almost impossible in any level of Valorant, but especially here at Game Arena. The teams are just too good. They'll not let you get away with something like that.
Yeah, the teams are too good. Sentinels is scared to join this tournament. That's why they're not here.
Yep.
Obviously, we got only the best of the best around us right now. It looks like
I heard Fnatic actually called. They were gonna fly in, but then they heard that CSU Green was joining, and they're like, "We have no chance at first or second. Might as well just."
They heard Leon would be there on the get-go. They were not coming.
Yep.
They knew they had no chance at this one, but of course, Sussy players getting a bit of a pseudo timeout here, so it can't be too bad. You can have a few discussions while we're getting all this figured out. I think we're still kind of waiting on a PC reboot. Might be logging in right now. We can only stop for so long, so a few minutes more of this, and we'll send you guys to a quick break, but I'm not quite there just yet. I mean, we also saw just the confidence exuding from the squad. Of course, talking to Shuki earlier after their game, and looking like a completely different animal on our second day of the LAN. And we saw it in the games just going crazy after every single round, hitting the pop-pops, hitting the fist bumps, and Sussy players. The quietest we've seen him all day right now. Drinking some water, probably some protein in there. Who knows with this team? But
to be fair, neither of these teams have lost today. All the maps have been mostly one-sided affairs in favor of one team. Like even the matches against OSU Scarlet, right? Like CSU still won that by a few rounds. Still, there was obviously a bit of sweat in there at some points in time, but. This is the first challenge that I think both of these teams are facing right here and right now. And for the Sussy players, they're the ones in the hot seat. They're the ones that have to adapt and overcome. And we'll have to see if they have the fortitude to do that, because you do not want to go down one map.
Yeah, especially when you're going against a team like CSU, who's just playing so full of confidence, so ready to attack and pounce at any moment. And now, I think since we're still kind of waiting on this one, we'll give ourselves a little break on the broadcast as well. We'll send you guys to a quick BRB screen, but do not go anywhere. The tech issues should be resolved here momentarily. And Valorant 3 will continue after this short little break.
And welcome back, everybody. Sorry about that quick delay, but everything is back to normal, at least in the game arena, Valorant arena, one could say. And we have a very tough situation for Sussy players on our hands right now. They're down 5 rounds, but luckily, or I guess unluckily this round, they do not have really any guns to work with here. So we'll have to see what they can do. They have been very scrappy on these rounds. The one round they won was on the save with a showstopper in your face. Actually, that's going to be a showstopper from Kobe there. It's going to miss its mark, though. And Kobe has lurked up into a position.
The fact that trade 1-for-1 is not too bad, I suppose.
Yeah, only able to get one there. But Donkey still making this a very winnable situation. Vaspiro catches another one, too. And Exquisitely goes down, and maybe that PC reboot is all that the team needed. A bit of a longer timeout, and Sussy players right back in it.
Yeah, a bit longer timeout there. We saw the pop-offs coming back here in the cameras there to let them know that we're not out of this just yet. I mean, just the fact that Kobe can sit in the little corner and miss half the clip but still end up with the one trade is great for that team. And now, just the confidence building here, 6-6 for Sporl. Once again coming live, but now Rifles online. That's kind of the biggest turnaround here for that Thrifty round once again. Apparently, they can only win Thrifty. Sussy, stop buying Rifles. You can only win the Thrifty rounds.
Or maybe they have to play like they have nothing to lose. Maybe it's just the mentality.
Hey, never mess with a hungry dog. Not going into here, going to 1-for-1 in the showers, but Kobe with the paint shells, finding 3. Kobe walks in and cleans it up.
And they have the spike down in that showers area. It's really all on the back of Shuki and company to sort of break this defense, but the positioning has been spotted. Shuki hasn't, though. Tried to lurk himself into a cheeky little spot. Kobe with an ace on the cards. Can he take it? No, but Shamson's going to be there with the trade, and they know exactly where Exquisitely is right now. Feel like they don't need to take the fight. They can wait to call in reinforcements. They can hold back on the spike, wait for Exquisitely to peek, and that's the energy we're used to seeing from the Sussy players right there. They're right back in it, Booney.
Yeah, they are right back in this, and now, especially with how close the scoreline is getting.
Can I get a drop?
But the old shirt tugger, like the goal, kind of looking right now. Sussy players kind of coming online once again. Vikings green will have some ultimates, however. They will have quite a few to work with and probably stave off a bit of momentum coming through, because if they lose this round, their economy is in shambles. So if you're Sussy players, you should take this one, and you're right back in this game. Probably get to a 5-6 scoreline, but we're going to be a bit ahead of ourselves right now as the Vikings can still win this one out. Looking forward to that shower control. We haven't seen really a B hit yet, War. What's really the meaning behind that? It's been a lot of A.
I mean, I think the issue with the B hit is usually that site's a bit more favorable for that deadlock util, I would say. And having a Sky, your Sky is able to cycle a lot of utility on B long. They're putting themselves in a very beneficial situation to hold in that area. It just makes sense the way that Sussy players were playing B on the previous match. They would be able to control that side a lot better. Sussy, or CSU Vikings green, I think, do strive more in this A hit. It's a better place for sort of the Raze lineups, the Gecko lineups.
Blow all being dumped in right now. Trying to find it with a Soul Shopper. U-Haul getting cleared out with the orbital strike, but still. Nothing too much showstopper, not going to find anything in the back of that one either. So a lot of ult being dumped in right now for the Vikings green, but nothing coming out of it. A bit damage potentially over on the Sussy players from Donkey, but Lean open things up once again, trying to come back alive on this Gecko. As we are going to find the kills here. Lean and White once again opening up the A site. As it's just Kobe in the U-Haul, but there we go. Bit of energy right back for the Vikings as they did use a lot of ultimates, but they got themselves back into it.
Yeah, definitely a worthy investment for all those players, saving the side of the Vikings from some economic shambles that they could potentially have entered. And now they're right back to all sunshine and rainbows on their side of things. Most players having over 2,500 credits to work with after this round. They'll have the buy for this round and the next round, last 2 rounds of the half. That Sussy players desperately need to get a win on. If they're able to equalize this to 7-5, you've seen how good their attack is. They definitely still have an equal chance on this map. But they need to find that equalization.
They got 2 great ultimates here to walk into Thrash to get the information, and then the Viper's Pit to lock down the site. And if they win this one, it will be a thrifty buy once again for Sussy players. So if you are the Vikings, they're probably just trying themselves set up for these 2 ultimates to get dropped over on towards the site. U-Haul is being compromised. Bombay trying to do something, but we cannot escape as Shamson find the shots right through that wall. Still exquisitely hiding, lurking in the shadows, in the showers, if you would. But still, bit of a slow push right now for the Vikings, slowing things down, cutting out the noise. But Sussy players are there to meet him on A once again. It's still only 2 on 4 on the A hit. It should decide to hit this. Bit of reinforcement.
And exquisitely, they have the Viper's Pit. They can utilize that right outside of showers and gain a lot of control on site. But it looks like going for a plant more towards the middle. We'll see if the denial comes in towards that. And that's exactly what's going to happen. The spike's going to pop over towards the defender's side of the map. And now CSU Vikings Green, they're in a very dangerous position. They need to fight through these smokes. They need to fight through basically everything. And it looks like they're able to do that. Still 2 players alive. Creates a 2v2 situation. Viper's Pit online, as well as the Nightfall. And they're going to invest the Nightfall into this, trying to get the plant down. But unfortunately, Noth just stuck up by Vaspiro, who's trying to make the big play, the hero play, to save the situation. 5 seconds left on the clock. Top of the spike, needs to take the angle. Vaspiro takes it for the team. Sussy players staying alive in this map.
A huge clutch from Vaspiro. He's taking the headphones off. He's going elsewhere. He left the stadium.
He's gone. He's done. He spilled his drink, but he's done.
Yeah, we do see we do see some liquid on the mouse pad, but yeah, it looks like CSU Vikings having a bit of a chuckle with him on that one. That's worth a drink spill, though. I will give him that. That was a great play from Vaspiro to clutch that one out, especially with all the almost dumped in there from CSU Vikings. They were really heavily investing into that fight, into that A site, using the Thrash, using the Nightfall, still have Viper's Pit for this last round, but you didn't quite break the economy of Sussy players like you possibly could have on that last round, and now Sussy players are going to be coming with some almost of their own and could, again, send us to a very tight 7-5, and we saw their attack war on Bind was very strong, especially on that B site, so now CSU sort of on the back foot here in this half, have to bounce back, give themselves a good cushion for the defense.
Yeah, and they definitely need to do that. It's also a question of momentum, and I guess in a LAN environment, like, I guess looking down your opponents, I think even like small stuff like this, like spilling your drink or like the quick tech pauses, they are sort of like a mental reset. It sort of allows both teams to sit down for a second. First, clean off your desk, and secondly, for kind of scale yourself away from the event a bit. Go into the next round with a fresh mind, a fresh mentality, a mentality that will propel you to go forward if you're able to pick up this next crucial round, the final round of this half.
Yeah, but I gotta wonder, will the sticky mouse pad, will that affect the Sussy gamers? We'll have to wait and see. Of course, with how good they've been looking recently, it probably doesn't affect them. Okay, his mouse not quite where the spill happens, so that could be a big changer. Unless anybody comes at his feet, I think he'll be fine, considering he will not deflect down all that much. Still waiting to get the R's from these teams, I believe, but it looks like the teams are seated and ready to kind of game a little bit here shortly. And now we're at that position of a very back and forth half potential. 7-5 scoreline on the cards, but there's a really big difference you feel almost in 8-5 versus 7-4, or 7-5 and 8-4. It's only one round, but it feels like a really big game changer coming up here.
Mosh lands out towards B. The first time the challenge looks to be coming in on B. But another challenge in showers does go in favor of Sussy players as well as these ones.
And now here comes the ultimate as well onto Leon to shut that down. We'll take that gick away. Now it's just exquisitely stuck in the 1v5. Not much of a prognosticator, but this feels a bit difficult.
He has Viper's Pit though.
Yeah, that's like the game changer. The spike is down in garden. There's only 3 people surrounding it at all times, but
he's Viper's Pit though.
Okay, and he still has Viper's Pit though. A flawless end the half there from Sussy players, and now walking into their attack round, which looks so strong against Akron Gold. Looking to push us forward here and bring us to a tied series. Of course, a little bit of a pistol, a little bit of a rifle round could do just that. Now, things start to get a little bit interesting. You think a bit of a throat tightener over there for a CSU Vikings green. So it looks so so strong. I believe we had a 5-1 scoreline at one point. But like you said, if you got to stop after round 5, it's bad. But round 6, completely viable. We're seeing it now.
Completely. I could not have had a better analysis of the timeout timing myself. But the thing I will look to also analyze is the difference in composition. CSU Vikings green, they have that double smokes, but they don't really have a sentinel, which is kind of what you look to have against a team like Sussy players, a team that looks to push in very fast and very hard. There's nothing but smokes that is going to deter these fast hits, and 2 players already claimed. Sussy players so willing to push the aggression and set CSU Vikings up into a disadvantageous position.
And I mean, like we saw, it was basically a 3v3, basically a 3-3 push with the help of the Euro Clune walking through showers. Really no information to be garnered by the defense here, and now is again Exquisitely and Leon stuck in this close situation, down 2 versus 5, with that deadlock wall being a real nuisance coming up here. Kobe getting those heals right back up. The Dizzy comes out, but Leon sent it right back to spawn, and another flawless to start the half here for Sussy players, and we are right back. A bit of a and the wink.
The wink. Okay.
Do not worry, we saw that, my friend, and the big dog gotta eat. It is. This game kind of just flipped on its head, almost seemingly out of nowhere. War ever since the PC restart, it has just been Sussy players on top.
100%, and doesn't look like there's a concrete answer just yet for CSU. I want them to try and get these smokes up a bit earlier and deny the position that Sussy players are trying to take. You can see Leon scouting for some information there. Little do they know, the push is on towards the A site. And Kobe and Vesperal with an explosion of damage. Maybe a bit of a misplaced wall there. But nevertheless, still able to get the plant down. No
I
harm,
believe
no
the wall
foul.
might have locked somebody in with the judge positioning that allowed the kill. We'll have to wait and see, because Kobe did get a judge kill, and I believe it's right after the deadlock wall went down. So I think it was actually a well-placed wall, and now U-Haul controlled by the judge, Kobe, for 3. And Kobe with a force. An absolutely spectacular round there once again from the Sussy players, using their advantage in the rifles and the utility on that attack. And now, if you're CSU, when do you call this timeout? Because you're kind of starting to crumble right now. Look at all the red in that scorecard over the last few rounds. Only 1 round in the last 7 for the side of CSU.
Well, you see, if they would have called it a round previously, it would have been too desperate, right?
Oh,
because that would have been like 5 rounds. But now they can call it, right? Because that's 6 rounds from when they started like losing the momentum. You got to remember.
CSU probably wondering when Sussy players can have a PC restart, because it appears to have given them some new life right now. Why you open things up though with a nice pace shell over onto a Sparrow, take that deadlock out of the fight. So decent opening here. Kobe still with the judge in the showers, trying to convert on this bonus. Would be massive here for Sussy players. But Wii holding strong in the A site, finding a 3rd here in the fight. And now U-Haul coming through here with the judge, but how sharp Wii U is right now might not be just enough stem beacon right there. All right, now knowing where Kobe's positioning is, trying to force him out of the U-Haul, but the pincer might be coming through here from Wii U. Shamson on the alert, coming in from the attacker's side.
Oh, and Shamson actually able to find 2, equalizing this map.
Yeah, it's a 2 for 2 right now, going on to the point. Grab a bit of a smoke here from the
side too.
Yeah, no, Exquisitely's nowhere to be found. It's just Shuki here against the world, seemingly. And the TP over, but the hookah playing from Exquisitely! That's why he stays over there! A massive turnaround. Shamson tried, but exquisitely shuts that down. And CSU still maintains the lead.
And I was wondering why Exquisitely wasn't rotating. You know, I'm like, wait, why is this guy sticking around? So you know the spikes over here. You know both players over here, right? Sure, clearly he knows more than I do. Clearly he's in the minds of the Sussy players, keeping the lead right here for CSU Vikings Green. And now it's even a bit of a weaker buy for the Sussy players here. Kobe has come up big this entire map, but now Stinger in hand. We'll have to see how he can entrance towards this B site.
Looks to be kind of the classic Sussy player strat of push 5 onto B site and hope for the best. And looks like just a big util dump. Looks like they might be taking a TP play here, trying to get that. They do get a showstopper online though. Looking to walk in. Here comes a showstopper popped for Sussy players. Kobe trying to find one over on towards the site, but just playing B hall for now. Is going to be CSU. Shot not gonna find anything, so ult now doing clears the space over onto the point. Walk in, deadlock wall is still positioned. 1-for-1 exchange onto the raise here. No more duels, but Vespero up on this high ground doing something here. Leon trying to come from the flanks, but there's too many people there to meet him. Still a 2-for-2, a 3-for-3 on the point. Thrash ready to go over on the point, but Nos cleans up Shamson, and now Donkey stuck underneath a little shelter here. Gets stuck by the Thrash! And now, not much they can do. And that's going to be CSU taking 2 rounds in a row.
And that was a very excellent retake planned out from CSU there. Helps break the bank for Sussy players. Even though Sussy players started off with that initial pick, just the fight from Leon in showers into the Thrash detainment, making it a basically 3v1 and then a really easy cleanup. Obviously, never count Sussy players out on these 4 or 5 person sheriff rounds, but it's looking quite deadly at the moment.
It is indeed. Now looks like it'd be a bit of an A stack here for the defenders, having 3 over that side and potentially a recurring through, as B appears to be sort of the main target here once again for Sussy players. It is their site. They really like this one. They do have a Spola over on towards the A site for a bit of a lurk, but Leon's still just kind of peeking back and forth around this corner, see if anybody there in his sights. Yes, does spot the Yoru. Has the Mosh to shut that down. Now here comes the clone. Walking into a wall. Looking like me playing Valorant right now, but still, all noise cut. And both teams opting in for slow play.
They'll be actually going to be the first one to get caught. Still holding down toward this B site. And the pick from Vespero actually is going to come over towards A. So this might call a rotation out from the side of Sussy players. Leon doesn't want to give that opportunity though. Trying to fight back. Throws Dizzy in. Creates some space. Luckily Noodles here for the reconnect with the rest of his team.
Ooh, 5 HP in the showers.
Cutting through.
Does have the annihilation. That's a big potential piece of utility you can use on the post plant to equalize a situation that's 2v1. And Sheriff in hand, you know how dangerous Vespero is. And Shamson has that extra life as well. It's just Nos holding it down on the site. Will he swing out? He's been gravneted this entire time, I think. Doesn't want to reveal his position? He's just holding. Waiting.
Yeah, it appears that the Heaven Clear is going to be coming on through. They're going to use the Deadlock ultimate, but it didn't lock down anybody. It did, I guess, create a bit of knowing that there's nobody on the spike. But right now, 5 HP, they have to escape here. Vespero trying to get out with their life. Leon over in towards U-Haul. Ready to lock this down, but there is going to be Noodle there to meet him as well. Still, both teams kind of exchanging back and forth here, but Donkey from the side finds a third in the round. And that will be Sussy players keeping this close yet again. A very back and forth affair on this map. 9-8 here. CSU still the advantage, but the buy is not there.
And Booney, we were talking. We wanted a back and forth series. We wanted a close bout between these two teams. I think that's exactly what we're getting from this map. We thought it could have been a one-sided affair, but both teams showing the resilience, throughout this map. Even when you're going down multiple rounds in a row, you're still able to fight back. Key ultimates online. First one is going to be that dimensional drift. Just saying hello. Donkey loves to hang out, but actually might look to take this fight. Has a TP out, but not going to opt to go for it. An explosion towards A, but the flank is very, very fast for the side of CSU.
The Sparrow is there, but U-Haul not clear as we with the judge will find one. But Donkey exchanges that one right back as Donkey on the second. Donkey on the Yoru, making it work this round. Donkey with another 3K. Opting in for the TP back towards that B site. Knowing it's just Shuki here in showers. Does Shuki decide to save this rifle? Actually doesn't even have the rifle, just has the frenzy here. As Donkey gets that plan, that will look for Shuki to get this clutch here. Once again, picks up that Phantom. Does he take the TP? Looks to be opting in for this play.
And should look to give this a try. No shield. Playing with house money, basically. Free Phantom. And at worst, you give the one alt orb to the Yoru, who actually got 4 on that round. So maybe that is kind of bad. Close to another dimensional drift, potentially.
Thank you.
Yeah, building that very quickly. Donkey having a great showing here on the defense for the for the attack for the Sussy players, and you see very back and forth affair last few rounds here. 2-2-2. Now does CSU bounce back? We are officially tied here at 9, and the buys are there for both teams. A bit of a lighter one for the side of CSU. Can't quite get the full armor along with their rifles, but they do have a lot of ults to work with. That being the showstopper, the Viper's Pit, as well as the Nightfall. So much utility to potentially throw in this fight and not allow Sussy players to take that lead back for the first time in this map.
Yeah, and exclusively setting up in a great position for this mid-round Viper's Pit to sort of deter off-site. Some teams will opt to push into that despite the situation, but Sussy players have no ults to really break through it, so it'd have to be a util combo. And also, quite the educated guess. But I don't think Exquisitely is going to have that opportunity. He will manage to get one, though, onto Kobe.
And they need to use any ultimates here. Just the showstopper is enough, and Exquisitely with the gun to clean things up. For Vespero will get one for the troubles over onto Wii U, but alone in Hookah, not too much they can probably do. They do get 2 off the back, so maybe a third Vespero, though. Vespero with 4! Hold on!
Barrier deployed.
And the spike's down on site as well. A clear HP advantage for Shuki. Extraordinarily clear. Vandal in hand. Spike now going down. Has that wall and can reposition it into anywhere. Annihilation on the board. All they need to do is not die. Wait for the spike plant. Play in a position where they can ricochet the Annihilation. And I don't think that Shuki knows where this bomb is necessarily. Needs to break through this deadlock wall and get onto site. No ultimate to work with.
Down.
One smoke.
Time is counting down for Sparrow now knowing.
Them
Oh, it's got Sparrow with the ace from Hookah. And look at this. The team let them know.
They're on their feet. They're on their feet. Vespero, we talked about him in these clutch situations. Granted, we never thought that would be a 1v5 clutch. A true 1v5 clutch, mind you.
With like
But that's
25
exactly
HP.
what he's going to give us.
And now you look at the held ultimates now for CSU. Any regret in these? Having that Nightfall, having the Viper's Pit. Just, did you potentially put that in there and get that round back? Because now you are at the disadvantage. Just the final moment here. Sussy players taking their first lead.
Who's next?
Of Bind. And now Directional Rift early. For Donkey, gonna walk in, clear out some space. Lean is there, forced to TP away though. But B-Site is once again completely unguarded. It's just Exquisitely and Hookah. That's all they got. With the Bucky. You probably don't favor him in this 1v5. I mean, we saw Vespero do it, but the Bucky's a little harder to pull this one off. Chancing opens things up here, over in towards B Hall. And now complete site control right now for the Sussy players. Nos with 1, but that might just be all they're gonna get out of this one as the Sussy players lighten up this kill feed. And it comes to an 11-9 scoreline unless Wii U has another monumental clutch. Do we see 2 back-to-back 1v whatevers? Gonna be a little tougher with the weaponry they currently have. Just the Sheriff. It looks like just playing for the exit frags.
It's smart to play for the exit frag, especially on these closing rounds, if you're able to start up, bit of a comeback, maybe try to take the bank. Definitely going to look to give this one a try, but shut down by Noodle. No shot to fight back into this. And Sussy players making their way up to 11.
And here comes the timeout for CSU Vikings officially opting into this one. They got to talk to the coaches now because they are now at a big disadvantage. It's got to such a great start. 6-1 or 5-1. We saw the pop-offs in the chat. We saw them going crazy on the cameras, and now bit of a look of somber has fallen over the Vikings here as the Sussy players have come just back to life ever since that PC reset from Wii U. It just has not been their match. See what they have up their sleeves here after the timeout and discussion with the coach, with the players, and just all around getting a bit of a mental reset here. The game is still very close. You're still within 2 rounds, and 4 have taken home the victory. I did the quick math in my head, by the way, War.
No
Try
way.
to keep up, but
I'll do my best.
and this now Sussy players, you just see a completely different team than what we saw when they were down 5-1. Just bouncing up and down their chairs, just leaning in, just showing off, letting everybody know. And now going back into the game here, resetting timeout. What do you have for us here, CSU Vikings Green? You have got to come with some answers here, or Sussy players will make a huge comeback.
And it's all off the play that Vespero made. The 1v5. This would have gone the completely opposite way if it wasn't for that. And CSU Vikings, they've been holding on to these ultimates for so long. Sussy players, it feels like every time they have an ult, they're going to throw it into the round. They're going to guarantee that they win that. CSU Vikings have been extraordinarily passive with that Nightfall.
I've got your trail.
Especially that Viper's Pit. Saving it for a rainy day. Well, that rainy day has come. Seekers pushing in towards the site. Showstopper as well. Held by Kobe. Looking for the shot. Hoping to send it towards the target. And Ashley is going to get one. Nos is caught through the deadlock wall.
The Sperlin Hookah, very terrifying proposition once again for CSU. However, we do have the strike coming on through right at the default spike position as the Vikings look to push right back on in here. Is now a 2 versus 3, but it's Kobe and Vesperl. Probably the 2 you're going to want in this situation. Leon, bit of a flank here, but oh, just the timing there from Vesperl turned around. And Chucky could clean that one back up. And a timeout seems to have paid off for the Vikings, and they're brought to within 1.
And they used all their ultimates that round, even though all of them went off. I'd love to see that. It's still a good ult exchange too, because Seekers and Showstopper were used for Kobe and Noodle respectively. So a good win to set themselves back in it. And Booney, at this stage of the game, this could be our final round where everybody has a bye. This is our turning point. The center of the pendulum. If CSU Vikings Green win, they're going to break the economy for half the team for Sussy players, but the exact same thing happens vice versa. And luckily, Exquisitely still has that pit and is actually going to use it just to deny B, specifically B long, a position that Sussy players always like to push up and have had so much success on.
But looks like Hookah is kind of taken here as well off the back of that, however, for Kobe. Kind of seeing there was Shooky having the eyes up on that area, knowing that something is a little too off here. Sussy Push being a bit too quiet. Right now, Vesperl making their way all around towards the A site. However, we do see Wii potentially ready looking for this one. Does get caught up by the haunt. So Vesperl has to back away, has to give up that space, can no longer hang around A site. Now they know there's probably going to be this B push. They still have 3 members over on the A site. Viper's Pit still active here for Squizzly. Squizzly got caught. So 1-for-1 exchange with Sussy players coming out on top, finding the 2 members that were stuck over on B, and now the rotation comes in, but a little bit too late. Pain Shell's not quite gonna land for Wii over on towards Noodle, but the Dizzy does. However, Kobe from the side finds 2 in B Hall. And now it's a Leon stuck in the 1v3. Leon trying to clutch up Leon with 3. Leon in the 1v1 against Vespola. And Vesperl is going to get it. It was so close, but Vesperl once again with the clutch. The anchor for the Sussy players coming in, and now a 12-10 score line and a broken economy.
And Vespero just with ice in their veins right then and there. The momentum going against them. They manage to clutch that one up. They managed to take that one home. And now Sussy players on that match point. CSU Vikings Green, they need 2 in a row. But they have not looked good on this defensive side. Nothing to shut down the push that CSU Vikings Green is going for.
Yeah, walking in here, bomb buddy and pain shells down A, but really no fear whatsoever from Sussy players walking right back onto this one. Kobe taking control of the high ground. The Mosh is there, however, does kind of hit over on towards Kobe. Dizzy as well. Kobe shut down. But the pain shells do just enough to take down Wii as well. So rays are exchanged. The heals over on towards Donkey. And they're still hanging around A site. Vespero lurking in towards Showers. Got into that undetected, no sound. But both teams opting into slow play now. Looking for a slight advantage. Still exquisitely hanging over on towards the B site. Not wanting to give up that site for free. As the rotate might have been called here for Sussy players.
The rotate definitely is being called, but exquisitely. He's holding this hookah spot again. Last time in this position, he came up with 2. This time, only a Spectre in hand. Has that close range ability. Gonna get 1. Gonna swing out. A bit of damage on Samson, but nothing more to claim from that. The overheal is gonna come through, but on the other side of the map, Leon still showing up and showing up in big ways. Getting the kill,
HP.
getting potentially an opportunity here, but with Shamson and their ability, the not dead yet, you could maybe even consider this a 3v3 situation, even on both sides. With the spike down, CSU have a tall task ahead of them, but they're gonna read Vestero's position, not gonna be able to figure it out though. Now 2 versus 2. Need to win this gunfight, but no, Shamson's gonna cut him down. It's all on Leon. He's been good throughout this tournament, but right now he needs to be great. He needs to make the difference.
13 HP is a very tough clutch coming out for the Gecko, and just hearing that spike fall ever so closer to going off here, still having not dead yet here. Shamson gonna lock that one up basically immediately, but there's just too many guns, too many players on that B site, and Sussy players, despite going down big early, bounce back and take our first map.
That's the exact bounce back you need to have, but Booney, this is a much, much closer series than we've seen throughout, I guess, all of today. So back and forth. CSU Green, they had the lead for about 16, 17 rounds of play. At the last moment, it slipped into the favor of Sussy players. Now remember, this was Sussy players' map pick. They are going to be going into something that I've only heard rumors of, but every time I hear about it, it is deadly. The CSU Green pick of Lotus.
Oh, the streets have been talking?
Streets have been talking. Yeah, they've been saying, yo, CSU Green, Lotus might be greatest combination since Kobe and Shaq.
Well, actually, Kobe's on the other team.
Yeah, Kobe's on the other team. So Kobe and Vespero, you know, like.
Unfortunately, Kobe has shifted teams.
Yep.
And I mean, looking at this again, like we've always had these kind of games where the players have been pretty low in the KDs, but everybody really close here. We got like 20s, 22s, 10s, 14, just so many people, so back and forth. It is just such a close series, and I hope we can see that in our next map of Lotus, but that will have to wait. So after a short little break, we'll send you guys on your way. We'll see you for map 2 of Sussy players versus CSU Vikings Green for Gaming Arena Valorant 3 right after this.
And welcome back, everybody, to more Game Arena Valorant Act 3 action. We got the Sussy players, we got CSU Vikings Green, and we got the grand finals with Sussy players taking home Bind, their map pick 13-9. Looking very strong to maybe 13-10 actually, looking very strong to potentially upset on Lotus. But Booney, as I was saying, CSU Green, I think big fan of this Lotus map pick, and it's a map pick that we haven't seen Sussy players play that often just yet. So we'll have to see if their same playstyle can work out on a 3-site map like Lotus.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see, because I mean, we saw the attack side for Sussy come alive on Bind over there, not going over on towards Lotus, a very attack-favored map. And Vespero on the Chamber, no longer opting into something like a deadlock. I don't believe we've actually seen Vespero on the chamber so far today at all. It's like a complete shift of everything almost. You know, we have, well, once we get back into it, we have somebody on the Raze Donkey on the Raze, seen Donkey a lot, like on that Jet, on that Yoru, but first time we've seen the Raze from them, I believe, today as well. So a big change for the Sussy players in terms of who they're playing in their agents, and might throw people a little bit off here. I mean, it doesn't matter what Vespero is playing. Ever since that 1v5 clutch, I'll trust whatever they select and agent select.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I mean, sure, the Annihilation was used for the last kill, right? A deadlock specific ability in that case. That 1v5 clutch was just out aiming, and if you need a character that can out aim, that's gonna support that, it's gonna be Chamber. Now, speaking about the compositions, you like to see like more explosive compositions that can work faster on maps like Lotus. You're gonna see a lot of those Raze, Nade, plus Fade, C's lineups fighting for A main control, fighting for C control. It looks like CSU Vikings, who are starting on green, are starting on the defense, are gonna go for that A control, but the main stack favoring towards C for the Sussy players.
And we also saw Exquisitely have a great performance on the chamber in our quarterfinals against CSU Vikings White. So I'm excited to see if Vespero versus Exquisitely getting the advantage there in the first time, but bit of site control now for on towards point C for the Sussy players, but nice paint shell to deny the plant from Wii Lean looking to go on in here with the classic. They're gonna find the shots. Donkey, though, trades back for 2 more. Donkey the third. Donkey looking for the 8 potentially here. Donkey going in. Paint shell has 4. Donkey looking for the ace. Donkey has to reload. Pulls out the knife. Oh, cannot do it. And Wii U establishes the raise diff early here. The reload just not in time. As yet another explosive start for both these teams.
I still want to see a knife kill. We've got to judge ace. We got to see at least one knife kill on stream at some point in time. Lotus, a great map for that. CSU Green off to a quick lead, and you can see them prioritizing those outlaw picks, able to control both A and C from that long angle. It looks like Sussy players are going to be opting towards the C side of things. And they're actually going to be smoking themselves off. A very sort of niche technique to allow yourself to creep forward and then mount a push.
Yeah, Vespero once again down first. Really for the fights to even break out. Down that chamber. There's kill potential. It's rough for the Sussy players to bring this one back. The C hit is still seemingly online. Bunch of players hanging around sand. But right now, using the haunt, try to clear out some space. They're still walking into Exquisitely on this chamber, and now here comes a full rotate coming through for the defenders over towards the C site. Do we see the fake? It appears we're seeing some movement coming out from the Sussy players, at least over on towards B, but Wii U is there to meet them with a double satchel up on the high ground. And yeah, that will be the Vikings coming in on the pincer maneuver to shut this one down. Exquisitely showing off, using the scope for that one to get that flick on. And a great start for the defense here. Of course, Lotus a very attack-sided map, but CSU Green finding 2 early rounds here. If they can convert this bonus, honestly, 3 rounds on Lotus is a fantastic look.
Yeah, but it looks like most Sussy players are going to be having that full shield. Everybody but Shamson. So the Outlaws may not hit as hard as most people would want. This time we are seeing that fight towards the seaside. Astrostars put around the area where they're pushing in, and immediately Shamson with the TP in, with the explosion, and 2 kills already. A third to be able to find, but trades back are coming through. And CSU Vikings Green keeping themselves having a chance, but they're not going to see Vespero from behind. Getting the backstab on Shuki, leaving it all up to one player Exquisitely. See if they can find any headshots. Yes, they can. Clips Vespero still has 1 in the chamber right now and looking for it. If they can get out another gun or get out a result here, it's going to be a massive win for CSU Vikings Green, even if they don't win the round.
Yeah, still enough damage here probably on the econ to make this a worthwhile round. Yeah, Exquisitely cannot cover all those angles. We will have the first round taken here for the attack on the Sussy players, but Exquisitely making it pretty pricey there towards the end, and still a fairly successful bonus round there for him. Continue this defense, and if you can just, again, like 1 or 2 more rounds, and you will be tickled being CSU on Lotus on the defense, but
There.
it looks like potentially a B hit might be coming here, but kind of lining up for that. Being such a place to be sort of a new look for him, but Vespero still over on this A site. Has kind of been I mean, we saw Vespero actually stay alive that round and found the perfect timing for the pick. So if Vespero still survives, usually good things happen for Sussy players.
And I really like the way that CSU Vikings are playing this map. They're playing it aggressively. They're trying to deny the util explosion that Sussy players are so good at finding. Vespero still able to find those kills, and they're able to find the space. Again, Raze versus Raze, but Wyu is getting pinched from either side. Meanwhile, Shuki tries to look on the site. It's gonna be a swing all at the same time, and the kill feed all red in favor of Sussy players, leaving it all on Nos in a 1v4 situation. Not much to work with here.
Not much to work with. Knowing exactly where the donkey has the crosshairs lined up right onto Nos once they peek on over, and we'll shut that right down. We're now equalized 2 apiece, and this Vespero lurk on A is looking a lot better these last 2 rounds, seemingly having the perfect timing to engage and find the picks from behind and kind of form a pincer over on towards the B site. And now, do we see potentially another C hit? Looks like maybe leaning over towards that direction. It's going to be Sussy players, and no defenders right now over on the C site. If they read this, it's a free site. And this might be a bit of an overcook right now here for CSU, as they are full stacking on the A site. And there's nobody there. C is free.
They're expecting a fight, and they're trying to stick together, but they realize very quick into the round that A is not the site of target for Sussy players. They're going to be moving over onto C. Nobody able to contest. The good news would have been that they'd have a 5-man push together. They did not account for the fact that Vespero still holding that flank. The discipline from Sussy players to not just 5-man bomb rush onto the site, keep their angles, keep the map control that Vespero has been able to instill here. This is now almost an impossible defensive hold that Sussy players can break. Leon's gonna be able to find one, but not much else here. It's all slowly crumbling down.
Exquisitely, the headhunter couldn't quite bring it back there. 3K for the Omen for the Sussy players, and right now CSU still on the back foot. Of course, they are well aware that this is the defender's side on this map. Never an easy thing to do. Shamson came at the right time. They got some ults here. Vespero has the tour de force after the next death, but
Right there.
we will see Exquisitely probably popping their own tour de force here on the defense, having that ready to go, save a little bit of economy potentially for the next round. But a win here for Sussy players will probably just break the back of CSU Green's economy for at least a round. But CSU once again trying to go for the read, and again another wrong read, as is going to be in fact an A push this time, as maybe going in for a bit of a flank here on the attacker's spawn side. But Kobe and the rest of the team pushing forward. Donkey using the paint shells, clears out the area. Still, Lee in there, playing perfectly around the Raze utility. No real damage coming on through. Showstopper coming in, ready to lodge at any time, trying to find any enemies here, but Wii is forced away by the paint shells. Still finds Noodle at the end of the day, so good ultimate there. Good discipline holding that trigger for just a couple seconds there. Now, with Shamson 21 HP and no util down, tour de force online, might be a little tough here for the attackers to break through. Donkey trying to get behind the enemy lines, but looks like they're kind of committed to this A hit.
The Donkey completely gonna be kind of cut off here. They're gonna actually use the Nightfall, and it's gonna be a fake. They're trying to sell the fake onto A and make a quick rotation over onto B, but that's still held by 2 players. And the tour de force from Exquisitely gets to 1, gets 2. Shamson trying to save the day, make this a winnable situation. is going for the TP, but does he have the spike with him? No, he does not. It might just be a fake. And
Yeah,
no.
1 HP. Gonna be tough for him to pull that one out. And another win here for the defenders. Gets themselves a 3rd round, and a great round from Exquisitely there with the tour de force, finding 3. And now a bit of a slowdown. We will have Sussy with the dividing wall, but Cosmic Divide not going to do too much probably for the side of them on Low specifically. But they do get to at least get some money back for the economy here, War. It was looking really rough there. They lost that round.
It was looking extraordinarily rough, and now equalizing it out 3-3. You got a tour de force on the side of Vaspero fighting against the op of Exquisitely, and they're going to be matched up towards the A site. Meanwhile, the push on C, 3v3, even fight, and even util exchange just far. It's actually going to be the push out from YU that's going to win the day, but flashes are coming back in. They're trying to push back our Sussy players. It's their attacking side, but they're playing it like they need to defend. All their util basically expended in this position, and YU, they're on 3, looking for the 4th. They're going to find it, and let's go ace hunting now.
Oh, he got it! The ace! Letting them know in the camera you see the PC doesn't crash this time. Finds the ace. And I mean, I wasn't aware that, you know, Vesprola and Exquisitely were playing ISO, having the 1v1 over on the ace site. But now the big advantage here is now Exquisitely able to hold on as operator. The tour de force expiring for Vespero. They still get one more buy out of this, but should the defenders once again win for CSU Vikings and get a 5th round on the defense as well as a huge econ disruptor, this would be massive for the chance to take us to a map 3.
Absolutely massive, and the disruption, it's already there. The guns held on to. They haven't been able to disrupt the op from Exquisitely, and it's playing in such an awkward position. Exquisitely doing a great job of reading this push, and Shuki finds 2 just by pushing out. They thought Exquisitely's TP out would be the only person holding close up B, but Shuki able to capitalize, finding 2. And now, Sussy players are left thinking, where do we go now? They're split up across the map. Vespero has got a solid lurk up through C, which is going to pull the numbers over there. But they're already at such a big numbers disadvantage already, and Rolling Thunder for a potential retake on the side of CSU. They're not even going to need it.
Yeah, they won't need Ace ultimate. It's just Samson here on the point, trying to make it work here, but the pain shell just too much damage. Shooting the wall, and CSU will again take another round on the defense, and they've just broke the economy of the Sussy players. And it's looking really good for Sussy players. A bit calmer here. Well, we have seen them down before, but on Lotus, you want a strong attack side. And they are going to call the timeout here, knowing that they might have kind of lost an opportunity of something great. Of looking at a 2 advantage, and you look at the buy, look at the economy, it is in shambles for him here. I wonder if we'll see potentially a save, or do we see a hero rifle in like the hands of something like a Vespola? I do not know what exactly the plan is, but you were talking, you're hyping up the Vikings green or Lotus map here, and we are seeing it in full display, especially on the defense, looking so crisp, so clean, rotates perfectly timed, and the frags just there. I mean, when you got Shuki just walking through a smoke and finding 2 for free, like, you can't, there's nothing you can really do about that.
And the thing I like about how CSU Green play Lotus, they play it a lot more aggressively. They have these really good set plays, whether that be the coaching or the players coming up with these amazing combinations of util that they play for. And every single round, it's either a swing out and hold with an op, or it's a push out. We're going to use paint shells. We're going to use blinds and flashes. We're going to try and hit a seize or a haunt, attempt to identify where these players are, gain a bit more of an attacker-sided map to the defender side, so we can have the advantage in every single round. And look at them right now. Economy's booming. 3 ultimates on the cards, and they're big ones, and already looking to fight this A area.
If they can hold on these ultimates, especially with their big advantage in terms of the guns, this would be massive for their potential of taking yet another round on the defense. Exquisitely holding down that B site for now, but we are having some ult ores being claimed by the Sussy players. Kobe making some space in through that B site. Bit of a split approach for him. Does force a TP away from him exquisitely for now. But still, really no hard push for either team here. Sussy players taking their time, knowing they don't have the guns to really take a brawl on any point. Want the perfect spot. Want that perfect timing to attack with the utility down. Still just a very slow approach. 1 minute remaining left in the time bank for now. See if Liam does spot out that headhunter. Knows the chamber is right down A. Force him back, and still, the Sussy players have not left their spawn here, War.
Yeah, they haven't. This is a scripted default, though. You can see the spike in spawn throughout most of the round, not even held by a player. Now they're picking up. Now they're pushing over onto the C site. Is the challenge on the back of exquisitely. Has a rendezvous to escape this situation. That's exactly what they're going to need to do. No shot fired. But YU comes in with the pick on B. And a Rolling Thunder expended from CSU. Counter Rolling Thunder on the other side of things, but CSU Vikings green, they acted first. They hit the go key a lot faster, and they're going to pick up a flawless round. Booney, it's not even close.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't really like the investment of the Rolling Thunder and the Showstopper, but they got the Rolling Thunder out of Sussy players. So honestly, I'll take that. That's not too bad whatsoever, because now you still have your guns ready to go for the defense. And the fact you've got this many rounds on the defense of Lotus, you are feeling really good about your chances of taking us to a map 3, especially now you still have your Cosmic Divide ready to go from Sussy, and any second can lock that off. We haven't had to buy a gun in like 8 rounds, it seems, for CSU Vikings green. But finally, a full buy is here for Sussy players. This is their chance. No ultimates on the cards. Maybe close to a Showstopper if Donkey maybe pick up the alt orb down C, but looks like it's going to be a hard A hit here. We see all of them stacked up, 5 in this little area, ready to push out here aggressively here. Sussy players getting back to a got him here. Just push A, just push B, just all go. Big unit, apes together strong.
But the issue is the protocols are already here for this. Lion and company ready to make this response. That's exactly what they're gonna do. A 1-for-1 trade. Reinforcements being called over. But Lion and YU need to come up big here. They're put into an awkward situation.
Oh, look at that double stacking. Good discipline there from CSU Vikings. The double stack, the double layer, but Shamson will equalize here. Shamson with 2. Shamson trying to bring back for Team here. Kobe. Keeping back Lean for now, going for the plant. Still just faking this plant here and there, but Kobe gonna land the shots. And now 2 HP is all they need. It's just exquisitely with the operator. Probably gonna try to save this one, get some extra frags. Maybe opting in for a bit of a push here, knowing they got the economy booming. Really no need to hold on to any of his weaponry. But walking into a site retake on those with just the operator, very rough look.
Yeah, it's more so I think you don't want to give the operator to the other team. They obviously have enough money to buy for this round, next round, and heck, in 2050, if their kids are playing, they could probably donate some of that generational wealth as well, but don't want to give the attempt for Sussy players to recover this economy at all. Sure, they do have an operator on their side of things, but if that's taken out of their hands on the next round, CSU Vikings Green can still recontrol the entirety of the economy here. So they're playing it slow, they're playing it patient, they're letting this round go and hoping for a bit of a better response on the next one.
Yeah, letting this round go, but that does make Sussy players right back in this now with the economy back to a sustainable amount here. And still look at all the money for the side of CSU Vikings Green. They're not sweating it too much there. All that money still in the bank, in the Fortune 500, you know, the mutual index funds, whatever you want to put it in here for your generational wealth, like you were saying, but...
Except for Shuki. For some reason, he's got like 250 bucks. Yeah, I don't know what happened there,
Shuki went all in on Bitcoin. He went all in on crypto. He got some NFTs on the side, but looking at it, here's still another A split. Very aggressive push out from the Sussy players, but the Nightfall to force them back, force exquisitely to TP away with the rendezvous. But now, we are going to have the Showstarter pop out from Donkey, looking to make some space over on towards the site. Sees the player, but legal 1-for-1 exchange. Gotta love hit scan for projectile interactions right there. Still, the site will be claimed for the side of the Sussy players, but a bit of a flank here, a bit of a lurk coming through from YU. Still some position, but the Sparrow will shut that down with the operator. Still big advantage right now for Sussy player, but Nos lands the shots and can't land the operator out of the smoke either. However, Noodle in the 1v1 against Shuki. Shuki bit of a health disadvantage right now in this one, going around, but gets caught on the knife swap, and that's gonna be a flex coming out, letting them know as Sussy players have come back in the series, come back in this map in a 6-5 fashion. One more round for the half, and no ults on the field except for Shamson with a TP, but that's not ruining a big decider.
Yeah, as an Omen player, I don't really think that's gonna change the game that much.
I don't really think so either. But
It might just be like a recon dart at best.
We could be proven wrong. I don't know why we're doing this bit. It's not very funny. But back to the game. What do you want to see here? Where we're seeing a full fire from both teams. Where do you want Sussy players to attack here?
If I'm the Sussy players, I want to figure out what the push is, bait out a bit of util, and do another one of those fast takes. Every time they've made these fast takes into the site, they're able to trade bodies. If they're able to force the op that CSU Green is holding onto away from the site, or guess the site that they don't have the op on, I mean, they're golden. The only issue is with these fast attacks, if you get traded out here on B by Exquisitely, somebody who's holding that angle, ready with the rendezvous to make a quick escape, then you're going to lose. You're going to have the numbers disadvantage going into wherever you want to push. So I'm fine with this slower sort of waiting, but at some point in time, they need to explode fast, and they're just choosing the wrong site to do it on, and you can see one pick with the op, and he's even sticking around for more. Why held up close. C's pulled in for both players, and Shamson's able to get that trade equalized, and they're calling over the rotate. They've realized that Vaspiral has made a sneak up into heaven. Shuki does not realize this, and it needs to be monitored by the rest of the team. Judge in hand, and it may not even come to fruition, but Exquisitely trying to keep this a fighting affair. Noodle gets one big kill, and now the positioning for Exquisitely has been identified. All they need to do is play out this time, wait for the bomb to go off. It doesn't matter if you die in these final rounds. Stack 3 on it. As long as all 3 of you don't go down to Exquisitely here, that's all you need.
Yeah, all the angles are being covered right now for the Sussy players. They know Exquisitely can't quite get in there. Exquisitely will get one, make it a 3K for the round, but that's just going to look good on the scorecard at the end of the round, at the end of the game. But still, a 6-round defense on Lotus is very good here for the Vikings. You'll definitely take this any time, any match, any day of the week, of the year, whatever you want to say. But going over, swapping over onto their own attack side. This is what you've been hearing. This is what the streets are talking about. The attack from the Vikings is what to look out for, not in their defense. So we might be seeing a quick little flip around here. Who knows? Maybe the Sussy players are a defense-favored team.
Maybe.
I mean, with how aggressive they are, probably not, but, you know.
Yeah, but, like, based off of, like, all known logic, I would not say so. But I think Lotus is one of those maps, and I'd say this is kind of similar to Fracture, where you can play attack and defense, like, very aggressively either way, depending on what composition you're walking in with. But it looks like it's going to be a 5-man walk up onto the B site here for CSU Vikings Green, and this is the right call. The unprotected site. They're going to come in. Only one trip to clear, and the spike is now going to go down. Able to set up their defensive situation, but it's going to be a quick close in, and all the members of CSU pushed up onto site. That means they're not going to be ready for this 3-man flank coming through main.
A classic going to land there from Noodle, finding 3 for 1 exchange in favor of Sussy players. Now, making it a little more even is going to be Leon. But it's not going to be nearly enough, and that will be Sussy players taking the first round of defense on the pistol. And oh, he's
okay.
He's letting us know over there in the camera. All right. I don't know. Does this guy have like does he do this every round, or does he have some psychic connections where he knows to do something funny when the camera's on him? I want to know what we're missing when we're not on the Sussy player's camera, but a good start for their defense here, getting that one, potentially turning it into a 2-round advantage here. Of course, taking the lead for the first time in this map right now. Sussy players 7-6, and still now only 6 rounds separating between them and 600 smackaroos, 6 Benjamins, if you will, just waiting on the other side of Lotus.
Yep, and I like how differently CSU Vikings have set up this round. Before they were 5-man deathballing, but they didn't have anything to monitor that flank position. Now they're keeping one player towards the anchor with that Astra player. They send it out towards A. It's not a full commit, but it's definitely going to be a commit onwards toward the site. Leon draws first blood, catches Kobe, and if they're able to break onto the C site, that is an extra gun that they can pick up. But they realize reinforcements have been called in. 2 more players sitting down on this site. It's Shamson and Vaspiro too. So maybe a bit of a reconsideration at this stage of the game. Vaspiro maybe in too deep, not in range of that teleportation. It gets shut down. Now Shamson has to be the hero, and that is exactly what he's gonna do. Finding 4 Shamson, hello. Getting
with 4
Sussy players up to 8.
We gotta get like this guy a seatbelt. Whoever's in the red tank top, gotta give him like a seatbelt. He gets up way too much, man. He's getting the calisthenics and getting those steps in for the game, for the LAN. But as of right now, a huge turnaround on that. Now 2 straight on the defensive Lotus is really good for Sussy players. And now looking at their bonus, if they can convert this, you gotta start sweating if you're CSU Vikings green. But you are still on the attack stone. Those you have the rifles, you got the buy. Can probably equalize this here. I guess within 1. But honestly, if Sussy players are landing the shots they've been landing this entire series, might be a bit tough to do that. We'll see. It appears A is going to be the site of attention here. Nas takes down Vaspiro early, so a good start for the attack for CSU, as really cleaning every corner possible. Very slow approach here, allows the rotate to come through for the defense. We will have a 5-on-4 site attack, it appears. We have a lurker here in B. But now a 3-on-5. This bonus probably doesn't look too good to be converted here. Noodle, bit of just spinning around, just spinning to win. He's gonna find Wii. Still a 2-on-4 here on the point, and yeah, not enough spinning that time for Noodle to take that round, but did get 1, I guess, but not the best bonus I've seen.
Definitely seen better. Definitely wanted a bit more if you're the Sussy players, but no harm, no foul, considering this round is going to be that decider round where both teams are on the full buy. Other than Exquisitely, I think we'll have to go a bit lighter on this final round. A couple light shields to equalize for the Sussy players as well. But overall, what's going to be the main deciding factor is going to be that operator that Vaspiro has set towards the C site, which is the reason why Sussy players want to go so aggressive here, but it's an equal exchange. The stun comboed with the nade. Both teams showing mutual respect, but the control over A main is mostly been given over to the Sussy players.
Each getting that page tail kill is pretty huge here, but now realizing that B is open, we're going to have the CSU Vikings green opting into that push here. Going to get that plant off, it appears, but Sussy shuts that down. Noodle trying to get that push, and we do have the bot instantly exploded here by Shamson, but the Rolling Thunder will, I say, a few members here in TP, not far enough through that door, and now Donkey in the 1v3, maybe get 1 for the troubles, but no, Wii is not going to get the 3rd, and we are once again tied here on Lotus. The attack finally coming to fruition here for CSU, as now 8-8 scoreline and economy in shambles once again for Sussy players.
Yeah, never count them out in those situations. They are still winning these fights over towards A main, fighting near the rubble area, but it's a question of will they keep, fighting for this. The utility is dropped very, very early for both the teams here, and it looks like it's a bit of a switch up with the side of Vaspiro pushed over towards this A side, trying to hit the shot here, but no connection from that headhunter. Backed up deep onto site and may just have to fully retreat at this point in time. Give up the A site. Actually gonna tuck down into the corner,
repeat.
into a beneficial position. Oh no. Waiu just completely shuts that one down.
It was close though. I thought he was cooking, but unfortunately burned the water. Didn't work out for him. And now a lot of the kills coming in favor of CSU, and this might just be a flawless here. The economy is shattered for Sussy players. I doubt we're going to save a stinger, but I've been caught off guard before, and that will be the flawless coming on through for CSU on the attack as they once again reclaim the lead on Lotus.
And the reclaimed lead looking very strong, up by 1 right now. And if you're looking for a round for the Sussy players to make a comeback in, it's this round. You talk about Lotus being such an attacker-sided map, and this is why CSU Vikings Green just able to completely control the pace. It's very hard for Sussy players, even if they take control of A main, they can't necessarily guarantee that win on the map. They can't even guarantee themselves knowledge of what site they're going to, because you can still go B, you can still go C, you still have so many different options. And the option for that Squirrel is going to be that swing out, but punished by Noth.
Face your fear.
With an op, you're always favored in that situation, but Noth says, hey, I'm just too good.
Nightfall not gonna find anything though coming out for CSU Vikings. Basically leaving Shamson here for free on the A side, able to put the pressure on and down, but now with the showstopper forced to teleport away, give up that space, give up that site, and now the retake has to come in 5v4 for Sussy players. All four, but exquisitely on the flank. And here comes more kills. Could this be another flawless here? If that's the case, that might just break this map and shut it down. As yeah, Donkey finally gets one kill in 2 rounds for Sussy players. Dodging those paint shells around the corner, but maybe opting in for a save. But the hunting has began. Maybe a second one for Donkey does not quite line up. And CSU coming out dominant once again in the rifle round. And another backbreaker for Sussy players.
Another round that would definitely break out their economy here. Sussy players are going to call that time out. Try and reconsider how they can approach this map a bit better. Do like using these timeouts when they realize things are going wrong, and off the back of timeouts they have statistically done a lot better. So I'm glad they are calling this one to sort of talk it over with the team, discuss what they can do better on the defensive side of Lotus.
Gonna have to agree with that one. Looks a bit of a serious communication here between the squad, between, I guess, quote unquote, the boys here, as they don't have a coach, I believe. So it's just 5 dudes at a LAN event having a good time, trying to equalize things here for CSU. But CSU, we're seeing why their attack on Lotus is talked about, why the streets are speaking. So we're definitely seeing it come to fruition here. It's just flawless after flawless coming through on their attack side. Their rotations, their just selections of which points to attack have been absolutely spectacular. Great IGLing coming out from their side, as well as the fragging on top of it. So just look at we at the top of the scoreboard, 24-9. Standard performance here on the Rays on Lotus. And it looks like it'll be yet another A hit here. We do have a Sparrow here with the hero rifle, hoping to shut that one down or at least do some damage.
I like the idea of the hero rifle here. You want at least the opportunity to shut down this operator. And a good bit of a util push and pull on this map. They're going to immediately nade out there. But it does not deter CSU Vikings green at all. The dangerous thing about this position that Vesperil is in, he can TP out, but if he goes down here, it's so bad because that's the only Vandal that their team had now left in A main. Nobody's even close to it right now. And Sussy players look to recover that hero Vandal. It's almost impossible.
Yeah, but not pushing exactly on the site here is going to be CSU. Are they opting in for a bit of a rotate here over on towards B? But Sussy players might have read the one out, leaving 2 members over there, over on towards that site. Shellstopper comes out here for Donkey, looking to put some damage in. Does find the shot on the Leon. So a good turnaround here now. A 4-on-4 rifle cannot be maintained or cannot be retrieved. So still heavy weapons advantage right now for CSU on the A site. A very slow play here. Shooky trying to get a bit of information over towards B, but I don't know if they caught sight of their main members on that site. A still open, but CSU coming in on towards B, but the read from Sussy players is there. The Nightmare comes on through from Sussy players, and Kobe finding one, Donkey with another. A lot of damage being dealt here to the economy of CSU, and potentially turnable here as his rifles in heaven can be retrieved. Still 1v1 here over on the point, but it will be Nos coming out on top. But a very close, sweaty affair there towards the end. Sussy players making him work for it.
And that's the excitement we really have seen from Sussy players all day, and now is finally being injected into CSU Vikings green, taking a 3-round lead over the Sussy players. And everybody technically has a buy on the side of the Sussy players, but a Judge, a Guardian, Noodle and Vesperil really need to make these weapons work for what it's worth. and they're leaving the C site empty, and that looks to be where that spike is going. But maybe a bit of an exchange out towards A first, but it's all just a fake. This is all just propaganda. Nothing's happening here. The spike's gonna move over towards the C site. So even if there's another kill for the Sussy, or a single kill for the Sussy players, will it even matter?
Yeah, Vesperal trying to hold down the site with the judge here, trying to force them back for at least a bit, maybe get the 1-for-1 exchange, but potentially knowing that that is a possibility. Very slow approach from CSU, walking forward, getting a little bit of a jiggle peek here from Wii, but the judge is ready to pop the second that
Bomb buddy out.
so Bob Buddy clear things out, but does get caught out with the judge now forced to retreat. Can't get the sneak attack, can't get that free kill
Nothing there.
over that corner, but look at this 3-man push through the attacker's spawn from the side of Sussy players, but Suki, well aware this is a possibility, has a crosshair ready to go, ready to lock it down, but can't find one through the flash, but Leon capitalizes 2 for 2 exchange. Rolling Thunder coming on out from Noodle over on towards the point. Still a 2-on-2 exquisitely set up in towards C Heaven and finding the shot. Now a 1-for-1 over on the point here. A free rifle from Vesperal. That's all they need. The 3K from Vesperal, the hero on the C site, is just enough to bring him back.
And Vesperal showing up when the team needed him most. Able to equalize on a round where they definitely were not favored. But nowhere close are the Sussy players to breaking the bank on CSU Vikings green. They have enough money to spare yet again. So definitely still an uphill battle for the Sussy players who still have these weaker buys. They've been spending a lot of this util out towards A for control of this rubble area. Question of, is it even kind of worth it at this point? They keep exchanging, but no kills to be found on either side. Just a bit of damage, a bit of information. They're trying to push up this time again. They're trying to take the space. They're met with 4 players and the spike on the other side of that smoke. And we could see an all-out brawl, Rooney.
Especially with the Rolling Thunder coming in through here. Over on towards the A side. Trying to get them opening, but Noodle is in fact the one to find 2 on the back of this one. No open needed. Now Sussy players cleaning up that kill feed. It is just going to be Shooky there over towards the B site. Shamson quite can't land the shots, but a 1v5. We'll have to see a Vesperal level clutch coming through from Shooky here. On the attackers, we've been seeing stuff an 11-10 scoreline on Lotus. Again, both these teams extremely close to one another, just so close. One shot landing here and there, deciding this series and deciding every single round. Both sides cutting noise. Don't want to give them that position. The B side still open there. Look at that 3-man little stack over there on A. They're having a good time in the attacker spawn, but
I mean, Spike's down there, so might as well.
yeah, Shooky maybe opting for a save here on the rifle, but Vesperal there to clean that one up with the tour de force. Show him a pixel and he'll take your head off, and there you go. 11-10 scoreline now, CSU green. Having the Albus to work with here, though. They knew they had this round in the bank, knowing they had the alt dump ready, taken to a 12-10. And the economy is still not exactly proficient for them here, so this has to be a round they gotta win. An 11-11 make a wish. It will look very rough for them, I believe.
The good news is they have 3 really big ultimates. There's a lot of cheeky things you can do with the Cosmic Divide on this site. And for the next round, they have the Tour de Force, so they're fine to buy up into this round and expend 1, maybe even 2 ults with that Nightfall coming in onto the B site. And the information, they mark 0. May not even matter if Donkey is just hanging up in heaven away through a smoke and getting up the first kill of this game. Now Noodle gets the second one too. Sussy players are taking this map by force, but no, trades back in favor now of Sussy players still, but exquisitely, he's been found, he's been located. 2 players on Sussy players so low. Just a bit of spam is all he needs, and no, the spam right back in his face. Sussy players make it up to 11.
Now we're tied 11-11, and still just using the Nightfall. suppose not too poor, but look at this economy now. Do you save for the buy? Because you could be seeing yourselves into match point. Sussy players, the last 3 rounds, bringing it back in their favor despite the big momentum shift in the middle of the attack of CSU. And now they got to talk to these coaches, got to get what's going on in the heads. We see Wii usually popping off in the camera, looking a bit distraught over there, trying to bring it back, trying to lock in for the squad. As we still cannot see the young gentleman behind this monitor here, not letting us in. It's like the coach covering his face up or covering his mouth up with a little piece of paper. Not letting him know. But Sussy players, we're seeing once again just the aggressive play on this defensive style finally coming to fruition, finally just getting the right reads. If they're on that point, if you're on the right point, they're taking these fights pretty handily. But beginning, they just weren't really where the attackers were going. But now they're here. They've got some sort of a read on CSU. Going back in 11-11 on Lotus. Potentially our final map of this series and the tournament. But CSU hoping to lock in once again and get 2 more rounds is all they need.
You'll see exactly what's going on here. I believe we're going to have a bit of a tech pause on the back of that timeout, getting something figured out with the monitor or something of the sorts. You can see a couple things moving around, and for the first time, we do get to see this young gentleman's face on the far left side.
It's right back onto the monitor.
Yeah, right back on the monitor. Okay. We got a glimpse, That's what matters.
Indeed, I believe they're waiting for his tech to fix itself. It looked like it was parts of the CSU squad, but it looks like everybody's kind of locked in here. Moving around their monitors, moving around their mice. We should have a pretty short tech pause here. Of course, it wouldn't be a grand finals out of LAN without a large tech pause right when the action's getting going here. 11-11, might as well, prolong this a little bit longer for us here.
Right there.
They're 2 rounds away from overtime. This can go as long as they want it, Booney.
I'm looking for like a 15-13 overtime victory, and then we should go to a map 3, more overtime,
Hey, I'm here for it. I'm ready to go.
I got nothing else to do today, so why not?
You want to play? Let's play.
Tour de force popped out here for the Vikings
You are divided.
as they look to push over towards the B site.
You're in a cosmic divide, giving opportunities towards A or towards B or C. But it looks like Sussy players are going to read into this. They're setting up their defenses. They don't know exactly if this is going to be a B push or an A push. Trying to hear things through the cosmic divide, pushing out, and it looks like it's going in the direction of C here. But Shams is the one who strikes, gets first blood, traded out by YU though. And still an even fight towards this C side, but YU steps forward, not afraid, makes space for the plant. And still, with that tour de force online, they can stall out a lot of time here. We're going to need a big play from the Sussy players right here and right now.
Yeah, going forward there, we're going to smoke down from the Astra. CSU YU got in this angle here to mark down Heaven, but can't quite land the shots. Just a little bit off there, but a bunch of damage being done there. The tour de force to clean this one up. 3 from YU, make it a 4 from YU, and there we go. Looks like he pops up the 4 sign, lets him know. And now 12-11 map point for Lotus for CSU on the attack. And the buy from the Sussy players is looking a bit sketchy so far. But they do have some almost ready to go, especially that Nightfall could be a huge game changer. Especially when the site for the retake.
That's
We got a 30 bomb, by the way. I just want to point that out from YU.
Hey, could still go for more right here. I'm sure he would
Let's see
not
40.
complain with 5 more. And neither would the rest of his team. Again, we got a bit of early util exchange on A. CSU not stepping into main, not trying to bite into any of that utility that the Sussy players do like to jump out. And the push yet again going towards C. This time, Sussy players are looking to hold that way. Vespero! That's who you need to shut down. YU dropped to his knees. And an early advantage for the Sussy players.
Yeah, Vespero took in a bit of damage through the spam through the box, but just simply holds his ground, maintains the trigger discipline, gets that shot just perfectly onto YU, shuts that down. So yeah, with that race, with that top fragger off the board, Lean opting to go over towards the A site here, but Donkey is in the corner here, waiting for any players to peek around. from the attacker spawn. Big advantage for Sussy players trying to bring us in overtime here. 12-12.
Right there.
Both teams cutting noise, but Donkey seeing him. Has showstopper, could be huge! Finds Lian, and with Ross down, it is just going to be the 2-on-5. Exquisitely and Shooky taking over on the multiple sites here. The spike in aqua position now. It is just going to be Exquisitely with the operator towards the A site. And still the spike cannot be claimed.
I don't want to call it too early, man. I think we may be going into overtime here. 12 seconds left. No plant to be had. Quick hello. Goodbye. See you next time in this overtime that we are going to enter. Sussy players equalizing it out. And now, Booney, it's a question of how big are these two teams' playbooks? Or, for Sussy players, how many ideas can they come up with on the fly here?
How many comp strategies have they pulled out recently?
Yeah, how many comp strategies have they pulled out? Might not have an actual playbook, but we'll have to see as we do enter this overtime between the two teams. Glass Cannon Operator on the defense for Exquisitely.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all, especially with just the operator being able to control all of the A site here with the ability to rendezvous away safely. So I do not mind the Glass Operator at all, but see where the attackers decide to go here for the Sussy players. We have not seen much of a defense for either of these teams here. Both teams, of course, getting 6 on a defense. Not something you see every day on Lotus. Looks to be an A hit so far for the side of the Sussy players. CSU playing a bit split right now. The rotate still has yet to be called, but we have 4 members here. We do have a lurk as well through mid. Oh, Exquisitely shut down the Glass Cannon. Taken down. No more operator for the Vikings. We do have a couple of exchanges here in the B site. Now a 3-on-3 spike down. Still back and forth affair, but Shamson now to Noth versus Kobe. The phase off here, and it's gonna be Kobe coming out on top of that one. Now 1 round away from taking home the tournament. You see the pop off there for him in the cams. CSU locked their chairs, knowing this is their last chance.
Yeah, but CSU now going to be going over onto their attack side, a side that they have definitely been favored in. Vespural now, the defender, opting for that Glass Cannon Operator, but looking to post it onto this A site, supported in turn by Kobe, as well as Donkey over there, holding it down. No hold seems to be going in towards B. And for the side of CSU Green, it looks like there's going to be a bit of fake presence towards the A side. Bit of noise being made, and then a slow rotate over to C, but it's an immediate read of that, sending 4 players onto the C site. They threw the paint shells, they threw the C's, making it seem like, hey, we got 3 players over on A, but now they're going to put the heavy stack up, bank on the side of CSU Vikings Green, going over to C.
Yeah, still hanging around here. Got a bit of that mid presence as well towards the B site, ready really for any rotation being called. Still the Glass Cannon Operator holding down that A site as well. Shooky kind of picking out back and forth, trying to get some information here on the A site, but not going to do too much. Still, both teams, they just feel the pressure here on the CSU Vikings. They don't want to make the move that could end their tournament run right now. While Sussy players having that bravado, having that comp mindset, ready to go and push in on anybody who potentially shows themselves. And now it looks like we'll probably end up being a C hit, as members have finally met the match.
But again, Sussy players, they're still here, and they still have a lot of util. Look at these. Aftershocks primed. Line's still on their side. Ryu pushes in, but he needs to be good for 1. It'd help if he's good for more. That's exactly what he's gonna do. But 16 seconds on the clock. They need to get the spike down. And Noodle, the great deterrent in this situation. Look where the spike is. Look at the ult that they have. 12 seconds left. Shuki needs to get the plant, needs to find a kill. They're just running away. They realize it's over. Sussy players will take Game Arena Valorant Act 3 home. Champions, $600 in the pockets. And back-to-back glory has been obtained.
Champions once again showing off the muscles in the camera, letting them know. Sadly, we got the Gymshark shirt, stopping that flux from being shown. And of course, here comes the respect from OSU Green, or CSU Green. And I mean, both these teams had a hell of a series. The 2-0 scoreline does not do this one any justice whatsoever. You can see just good times all around here on the LAN. Everybody having a good time. WiiU, a great performance there on the final map, almost dragging CSU over the finish line. But yeah, Champions, once again, look at that, a 35 bomb. You said he wanted 5 more, he got 5 more, but it just simply was not enough to stop the Sussy players, that absolute train, the muscle mass coming at you. It's tough, man, when you run into an unstoppable force and immovable object like that. But shout out, of course, to CSU Green taking home second place. Give themselves a nice little paycheck there of $275. But Sussy players once again claim first place in Valorant in the GA Valorant 3. And I'm glad we got this kind of finals. The best series of the day, definitely for the last.
Yeah, both maps down to 3. I really hope that CSU Green holds their head high after that match. It was extraordinarily close, down to the wire, blow for blow. And you said it yourself, Booney, the 2-0 scoreline, it does not show the amount of grit, the amount of determination that both sides put into this battle. It was by no means a one-sided affair. And, hey, both of them going home with a bit of ching in their pocket. But, Booney, I'm just getting word now that we have a big interview coming in. I actually interviewed this person after the grand finals that they won last time.
Yo,
it's
what
Vespural, man. How is it going?
Good. It feels great to win back-to-back, honestly.
Now, of course, if we're going to talk to anybody, we have to talk about you and that 5K clutch.
Yep.
Over on
insane.
towards behind. Just take us through it, man. Honestly, just let us know what you saw and what happened really to transcribe that.
Yeah, our execute failed, so I was like, all right, let me just go try and do some damage, and then they all kept peeking me one by one, and I just hit all my shots, which insane. I've never hit that before, so that's insane.
Hey, I hope you remember that clip and that moment. Now talk to me a bit about Lotus, because that was such a back and forth affair going into overtime. Or actually, before that, even clutching up to get into overtime. What were the comms like? What were the thoughts like? Was the energy still high, still there like it always is for you guys?
It definitely was still high, but when we took our timeout, we were like, all right, round by round, everyone chill out. We know what we want to do, and we just got to play our own game. And that's what happened, and came out with the victory.
Now, I need to know, who is the gentleman down there in the bottom left of your camera?
Kobe, the bald one?
Oh, yeah.
That's Kobe right there.
I'm just saying, every time we went to the camera, that he made my day.
Yeah, big dog's got to eat. Rep it, Kobe. Do it. Hey,
yeah, big dog gotta eat.
Big dog's got to eat.
So I'll give you kind of my default question when I do the MVP interviews. Like, if you could not, I'll probably give you the MVP of the grand finals. I think you earned it throughout your gameplay there. If you could not be MVP of your game, who'd you give it to and why on your team?
I'd probably give it to Sham. This guy, smiling. He's the GOAT. He literally had so many insane rounds that I can think back on that definitely helped us get these victories.
And we asked him earlier. He thinks he's got the best bench out of all of you on the team. And
Yo,
I'd like
you guys hear that? Sham said he got the best bench out of all you guys.
What? Okay, I mean, can you argue with that though? That's a
you
fair
can't
argument.
Argue with
back.
that. You can't.
All right,
I'm
hit you with one final question here. Obviously, won this. Actually, two final questions. One, what are you planning on doing with the $600? And two, are we gonna see you back if there's an Act 4? Are you gonna come back here to Game Arena to compete again?
All right, so with our winnings, we're throwing it on a parlay, and we're doubling down. So hopefully we double our money, and then, yes, of course, we'll be back for an Act 4.
Hey, the 3P is on the cards, boys. Bring it home. We love seeing you guys play. We love seeing you guys in the cameras. You bring the energy,
Bye,
you bring the
everyone.
vibes, and hey, much love to you guys. And again, one big congrats on the final win. We hope to see you again next year.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
All right.
With that being said, War, that's all she wrote in the books of Gaming Arena Valorant Act 3. A big win here, the repeat for the Sussy players. And like you said there, they're calling out all challengers to come back next year, especially if, Green can come back, Vikings Green can come back, give it another run for the money. I'd love to see it. And honestly, what a great day of Valorant we had.
Yeah, we had some exceptional teams all around the pool play, all throughout the bracket. Over 2 days at Game Arena, we were blessed with some of the best Valorant gameplay. And we do, even technically, it was a winner, repeat winner, right? Challenging anybody else to come back, but still upsets in their own regard. Technically, the 3 seed going into the bracket, running it all the way, quarterfinals, semifinals, grand finals. Sussy players took that one home, and they could not be more happy with that result, Booney.
Yeah, and I can't be happier casting alongside you today, War, or being on the presence of Guffey for the production, as well as getting on the observing course. Shout out to our entire production crew here for Gaming Arena for the Valorant Finals for Act 3. And with that being said, I got nothing to say, War. You were here yesterday, so I'll let you have the reins of sending us away and send out this tournament. It's been a hell of a time, and I cannot wait to hopefully be back here next time.
Yeah, and to everybody at home, to everybody watching, whether you're in Game Arena right now or you're halfway across the world, I just want to say thank you so much for being here for this awesome experience. I hope we get the chance to do this again. And everybody, stay safe, stay healthy, and have an amazing rest of your night. Bye-bye, everybody.